How's it going, guys? I'm sorry that I didn't record a vlog when I was in Austin for South by Southwest, but that's because I was just like super busy the whole time, running around. I had like maybe a spare hour once a day. Anyway, I was too busy having fun. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, if you haven't checked out the newest video that I posted about a week ago, it was a lot of fun to make. It was a lot of stress to make, but I got it out in time. That was for the Video Game Award show, and it actually opened the show. It was pretty cool to like actually see or experience, a ton of people like watching the video with you and laughing and like being like, oh snap, at all like the right moments and stuff, which was pretty fun. Austin itself was a pretty sweet city. Walked around a lot. I did a lot of walking. Oh my god. And yeah, attended a couple panels, and yeah, I don't really have much to say. I just figured I should probably upload something. I visited Rooster Teeth, if you're familiar with the Rooster Teeth website. Bernie basically picked me up downtown. He had invited me to come hang out and give me a tour of the studio, which I gladly took him up on. But yeah, he picked me up downtown in a Tesla. And you know how I feel about Teslas. So I was like, man, if I could have any car in the world, it'd be a Tesla. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you want to drive it? And I was like, so long story short, I got to drive Bernie's Tesla for like half an hour. It was great. It's really hard to really just explain how amazing this car is to drive because, for one, zero sound. It's completely silent. And two, the acceleration from any speed you're going. If you're in a car, like a normal gasoline engine, there's an acceleration curve where you get a lot of acceleration after a little bit, and then it kind of peters off the faster you go. So it's like if you're trying to accelerate from 50 to 70, it's a lot slower than trying to accelerate from 0 to 20. Whereas a Tesla, that acceleration speed is the exact same from 0 to 20 or 50 to 70. And it's instant. It's like it puts you back in your seat. You're like, whoa! As you drive off into the sunset. He was saying it's really good for like darting in and out of traffic, especially because you can't hear anything. It's just like, yeah. The closest I can compare it to would be possibly an electric shuttle, like a train, where like it kind of starts moving and it's like you don't really hear any sound other than like a slight little buzzing if you're farther away from the engines, that's or the motors, I should say, technically. It's kind of like that. You don't really have any sound, but you accelerate, and it's sweet. Yeah, I had a really good chat with Bernie. He introduced me to everyone at Rooster Teeth, and that was a lot of fun. And walked around the studio, checked it out. He was originally wanting to bring me on board to work on Red vs. Blue Season 12 this season, but they hired someone else who was way more appropriate for the job because I don't know how to do all like the 3D modeling and motion capture stuff for the Spartans, which I would have to do to work on that. So probably a good thing I'm not working on that. But he does. I don't want to like divulge everything that we talked about, but basically they do want to bring me on board to work on something. Because the environment at Rooster Teeth is very much so like very open and collaborative. If you have a good idea and it's like you can perform on this idea, then let's get it going. He did tell me about a big project that they're working on that I'm not going to talk about any right here because it's all still super secret and not official yet. So it's like who knows if it'll fall through. But it's really cool, and so that might be the thing that they end up bringing me on for. But obviously they're in Austin. I'm in LA. I'm probably going to be in LA for at least another 6-8 months because my lease is up in November. But we might work on some things in the meantime. But what's cool about that is that, I've been a fan of Red vs. Blue since like season 1. Like the end of season 1 was when a friend and I were watching. We're like, wait, what? This is hilarious. And hey, Jenna just showed up. Hi, see you down there? So she's gonna be up here in a moment. She was out getting groceries for dinner. And so, yeah. But it was a little surreal because it's like, oh, hey, I've known everyone here for like a decade. Nice to meet you. And yeah, Bernie and I hit it off. It was a lot of fun to talk with him just about like the company in general, the media marketplace in general, the industry, I should say. So it was really good for that. Because, I don't know, if I end up working at Rooster Teeth, that'd be pretty cool, but we'll see. More so it's a matter of, is it appropriate for me at this point in my life? because it's like I'm trying to focus on my YouTube channel right now, and I'm just trying to get, you know, things in general to start working for that. And who knows if that will end up taking off. It's not quite taken off just yet. The video that I just put out is called The Hero. The working title was The Chosen One, but I never really liked that working title. It was appropriate, but I wanted something a little bit more open. And I'm terrible at coming up with title names, so I was like, okay, let's call it The Hero. I honestly think that's the most solid video I've ever made, apart from like a couple little like things I wish I could tweak here and there. For the most part, most of the stuff in the video is just like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's like, it's an actual feminist satire. I could put that under my belt, and that's awesome. I love that. I can be like, yeah, there's a lot more to it than what the actual dialogue is saying. It's more of my like classic style of video. Like if you go back to like Falcon Punch or Lydia No, that type of video where it's all just very like you can't take it seriously at all. But yeah, Matt and my other friend Will, Will, who lives in New York City, not the Will that you guys probably know. We kind of like, Matt did the rough draft, and then the three of us kind of just like polished it up, and it was actually Will's idea to make the lead character a girl, and that because, you know, girls are really underrepresented and under-celebrated in gaming when it's not like a love interest or some super hot babe who, you know, shoots guns, Tomb Raider style. And so we thought, you know, something like this would really kind of point out those things, but do it in a humorous and satirical way. And I think that point came across really well, so thank you, Matt, for being a good writer. But yeah, that was a while ago. You saw some of the effects. I thought the effects, I learned how to use effectors in Fume Effects, which helped really make, I'm going to get a little technical. When I'm simulating the smoke, you can add a certain amount of turbulence, but usually it's turbulence added to the entire scene, and a lot of the times that's too unnatural, but without it, it looks too smooth. So you have to have some turbulence to give it a little bit more of a natural, like, appearance. Oh, there's a massive spider web hanging. I lost my train of thought. I don't like. Anyway, smoke, right? So it's either all or none, and usually, if there's like smoke, you add a lot of turbulence right there at the beginning, and then you turn it off. And that gives a lot of the initial turbulent motion, and then the rest of it acts naturally. Because you want smoke to react naturally as if there's not a lot of turbulence, but without turbulence it looks crappy. So it's like it's a give and take on where to do it. Anyway, I figured out this new method of using what are called effectors to essentially only add turbulence to areas of high smoke density. And using that, pretty much all the smoke that is really centered around the TV there's tons of turbulence going on right there, which is where you're getting a lot of that bubbling stuff. But as soon as it thins out a little bit, it goes back to no turbulence and really smooth motion, but you've already got a lot of that like initial motion activated, which is why I think the smoke ends up looking pretty sweet. And then for the rendering side of things, I use what's called a burn shader to just kind of, as the age of the smoke changes, so it starts off really red and then transitions to blue. And just kind of playing around with those settings, ended up getting it to where it comes out of the TV at red and then kind of collects on the ceiling at blue. I'm going to be making some tutorials for how to do that very soon, like this week. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm doing it. This is something that has been like literally on the books for 5 months now. Before Omen even finished, I was already in talks with doing a tutorial series for ETUS Plus, and but I've just been too busy over the last few months to really, you know, do that. In fact, I mean, over in December I shot a test example to work on that, but it ended up being too shaky, and even with my you know, what I like to consider pretty good skills with warp stabilizer, sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. You get a lot of the skew and shake and jello effect of the rolling shutter on a camera if it moves too much, which nothing you can do. When it's that bad, I should say. But I'm going to reshoot that. We're going to make it more simple, more straight to the point, and those will probably be out sometime next month. I'm going to work on that this week. Try to anyway. I got a lot of stuff happening. And also, I have launched a Oh, okay. And I launched a merchandise line. I launched you can buy t-shirts, you can buy mugs, you can buy a water bottle. It's got like omen designs on them. You don't have to. I'm not even really encouraging you to, but if you're interested, it's available. Actually, I'm encouraging you to buy stuff because that's like, it'd be cool if I can have more revenue streams in my life, but I'm working on that. Anyway, this is a 10.5 minute video. I'm gonna call it quits for now. It was good talking, and I will see you later.